were saying our album was doper, but we were saying it New York slick. Like we had some slick talk coming out our mouth.
Right.
Hammer thought we were talking about us his mom.
So basically he came with Hammer like, hey man, in this LA and everything, man, and things can happen, you know what I'm saying? You to holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection. Hammer said, protection for what? See, man, I got 12 bodyguards out there.
He's like, do you go with Suge? He's like, well, he's a gangster. You don't want to get killed. Do you go with Easy? You hear all the stuff talking about, oh, he was taking the money. So we thought, oh, we'll go with the church boy. We'll go with MC Hammer, but he was the most gangster one of all of them.
Like most folks back then, Suge Knight thought MC Hammer was just another flashy, pants-wearing rapper he could push around, until he learned the hard way that Hammer wasn't the one to play with. This is the same MC Hammer who, as MC Search confirmed, once put a hit out on his group Third Base. Even Hammer's former guitarist spilled that he once made a feared Crip gang leader sit down and stay quiet. Hammer himself bragged, "Man, I got 12 bodyguards rolling with me at all times." And then there's Lamar Lubin, who straight up confirmed Hammer was a certified bad guy when he needed to be.
What's up, Tupac? What's up? What's up, man? What's up, Hammer? All right. Come on, son.
See, Hammer and Suge's history goes way back to 1988, but their connection really heated up after Hammer dropped his 1994 album, The Funky Headhunter, which shocked the world with a harder, meaner image that nobody saw coming. Riding that wave, Hammer signed to Death Row Records in 1995, linking with the biggest names in the game. One of the standout tracks? Too Late Playa with Big Daddy Kane and Danny Boy. If you dig through old footage, you'll spot Hammer and Suge hanging out. But what really catches the eye is how tense Suge looked whenever Hammer was around.
Definitely doing that.
Hammer, you feeling home?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, then she'll go back 10 years, so, it's another day.
Well, here's the thing.
So what was it about the man in the shiny pants that could make one of the most feared figures in hip-hop look uneasy? Here's the thing, Hammer was no joke, and anybody who crossed him found out quick.
But Mike says that he can control it and that they shouldn't worry because the only thing that'll happen is they'll just break our legs. But we'll still be able to do TV from the waist up.
MC Hammer was there. That approached me. He was like, Red, I'm gonna tell you something, you young, but I don't allow nobody talking about my mama. You understand me? I said, yes, sir.
Yeah, he had the wild dance moves and a flashy style that didn't exactly scream tough guy. But behind the lights and the pants, Hammer had real street weight. He was connected, respected, and rolled with a loyal crew that wasn't afraid to handle business.
Yo, his entourage was something like I never seen in my life. Like it was literally
100 people.
More than 100.
And it wasn't just Suge Knight who felt that heat. Back in Hammer's prime, plenty of folks underestimated him, only to get schooled the hard way. Take that infamous situation with Third Bass, the so-called hit he allegedly put out on them. The drama kicked off when Hammer took shots at Run DMC, and Third Bass decided to fire back. Hard. They came for him in their track, The Cactus, and even took a swipe at his mother. They dropped the line. The Cactus turned Hammer's mother out, a double entendre, flipping both their 1989 Cactus album and Hammer's hit from the same year, Turn This Mother Out.
We were saying our album was doper, but we were saying it New York slick. Like we had some slick talk coming out our mouth.
Right.
Hammer thought we were talking about us his mom.
That low blow didn't just rub Hammer the wrong way. It had his whole family heated, especially his brother, Louis Burrell. Years later, in a 2015 interview, MC Search from Third Bass admitted just how real it got. And it all started before they even landed in Los Angeles. Def Jam president Carmen Ashurst Watson got a call that could freeze your blood.
And here's somebody say, is Third Base on their way to LA? And she goes, yeah. And the voice says, good, they're dead. This is Louis Burrell. And hangs up.
Wow.
A voice on the other end calmly asked, is Third Bass on their way to LA? When she said yes, the caller, reportedly Louis Burrell, dropped a cold reply, good, they're dead.
And Eric B basically puts a feeler out and finds out it's true, that there's a hit out on third base with the Crips.
According to MC Search, this wasn't some empty street bluff. He claimed fellow Def Jam artist Eric B told him straight up there was a $50,000 hit on their heads, allegedly to be handled by the Los Angeles Crips. That was enough to make Russell Simmons step in fast.
And I started to look up, and there's these dudes coming from south and west, and they're just walking over, whatever. And I'm signing autographs, and I look up, and I'm signing autographs, and as they get closer, the dude over here, he pulls the rag up. Dude over here, he pulls the rag up. And as they come up to me, Pookie whistles. Everything stops. He throws up some signs. It's one dude right in front of me who's got his hand on his ratchet, pulls down his mask, and he goes, "Yo, man, I love that record, but I was finna smoke you right now, homie."
The Def Jam co-founder brought in Barefoot Boogie, a respected figure in the hip-hop scene, to run security for Third Bass during their LA trip. Even with Boogie watching their every move, the tension was thick. One afternoon, Search hit the mall with his girlfriend while Boogie shadowed them. Things seemed cool until a group of Crips rolled up. Search was in the middle of signing autographs when they started pressing him, but Boogie slid in and shut it down before it could explode.
I say, you know what? I said, man, if you feel like we dissed your matriarchal, that's okay, but you know what you did. You know what's going on in these streets. Why don't you man up and see me face to face so we can figure this out? Stop being a...
That reckless comment didn't go unnoticed.
But instead of taking that as a sign to chill, Search poured gasoline on the fire the very next day.
Live. Greg Mack, who's this? Rolling 60 Crip N-word, we finna kill them. Boop! Out!
Live on air, he called MC Hammer a B and accused him of hiding behind his goons. That shot didn't just vanish into the airwaves. The station soon got a call from someone claiming to be with the Rolling 60 Crips, and the message was deadly clear: "We're going to kill you." Shaken to their core, Third Bass bolted out of that station, jumped in their car, and gunned it toward their hotel. But trouble followed fast. A car loaded with Crips pulled up on them, tailing close, making it crystal clear this wasn't a bluff. They even flashed guns, letting Search and his crew know they were dead serious.
I'm good. I'm not good. I've gone through 25 years of therapy 3 days a week. I am not good. I wish I could be good. But when somebody tries to kill you over a rap lyric...
Somehow, by pure luck or quick thinking, they made it back to their hotel without catching a bullet. Still, the scare was so real that the rest of their LA press run turned into a nightmare. Third Bass started rocking disguises, dodging public events, and keeping their movements low-key until the second they could skip town. Even years later, Search admitted the whole thing left him scarred, and because the threats supposedly came from Crip members, with the hit allegedly backed by Hammer's own brother.
It's this dude in his wheelchair and about 4 or 5 dudes with him, hanging out. I know they Crips because my cousins are all Crips in LA. So I'm like, there's some gangbangers. What they doing out here?
Whispers started flying that MC Hammer might have had Crip connections. Hammer himself never claimed any gang ties, but the streets kept talking.
I want to holler at you for a minute, Hammer. Now the thing is, Mike already knew who Hammer was because they did the video. We were on the same gang before. So basically he came at Hammer like, "Hey man, in this LA and everything, man, and things can happen, you know what I'm saying? You to holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection."
Then came a story that flipped the script, one where Hammer actually checked a Crip. Benito, one of Hammer's own vocalists, told it like this. After a show in LA, Hammer's crew was loading into vans when a familiar face rolled up, none other than Michael Concepcion, one of the original founders of the Crips. Michael Concepcion stepped to Hammer and told him straight.
I'm saying, protection for what? See, man, I got 12 bodyguards out here, and 4 or 5 of them straight killers. You know what I'm saying? So, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't need no protection.
We need to talk. He basically offered Hammer protection while he was in LA, warning him that anything could pop off in the city.
Just holler at me, man, if you don't, something could happen to you, whatever. He said, "What you trying to say?" He said, you go ahead and, take care of that and everything will be cool. He said, "Nigga, you trying to start strangle on?"
Hammer wasn't impressed. He looked at Michael like, why would I need that? He had his own squad, 12 bodyguards deep. And these weren't rent-a-cops. Some of them were certified killers.
Our people looking like, yeah, I'm waiting for you to move. Hammer, hey, what's up? He said, hey man, it's like this. I'll make one phone call and all this will go away. And Hammer said, what's up, man? He said, man, I apologize for the thing. I didn't know, the people you knew or whatever, this and that. And I apologize for what I did, brother. It's all good, we cool, we good. And Hammer's like, yeah, it's all right.
Hammer made it clear he wasn't looking for backup. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no protection. Michael didn't like that answer. He kept pressing, telling Hammer to watch his back. That's when the temperature in the room started rising. Hammer's bodyguards were ready to end it right there, but Hammer waved them off. Instead, he told Michael with ice in his voice that one phone call from him could shut everything down.
Are you a rapper or not?
Well, in one unescapable aspect, yes, and that is the fact that I don't sing. But in every other aspect, the answer is no, I'm not a rapper. I entertain. I say that in not meaning any disrespect to other rappers or other rap artists.
And Hammer wasn't bluffing. The very next morning, Michael showed back up just to apologize. That moment said it all about how much respect Hammer commanded in his prime. At that point, MC Hammer was everywhere, all over TV, in music videos, commercials, movies, even cartoons. His chart-topping albums had launched him into full-blown hip-hop superstardom, and he was living the high life under the brightest spotlight imaginable. To the outside world, it looked like nothing could touch him.
Now look at yourself, boy, you done flip-flop, giving our music away to the mainstream.
From the outside, it looked like Hammer's ride to the top was smooth, but fame always comes with its own traps. While millions adored him, the criticism was just as loud. The media, fans, and even fellow artists had plenty to say. In the industry, some folks couldn't figure Hammer out. To them, he didn't fit the real hip-hop mold. Clean-cut image, choreographed dance moves, and those unforgettable parachute pants. To the haters, he looked like an easy target. Take the MC Hammer versus Ice Cube drama in 1991. That year, Cube dropped the video for True to the Game, and one scene lit the streets on fire. A hardcore rapper suddenly flips into a glittery red sequined outfit, clearly mocking someone as a sellout chasing pop fame. People didn't need subtitles. The shot was aimed at Hammer. Hammer wasn't letting that slide. One day, chilling in his hotel room, he got word that Ice Cube was at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Hollywood.
I did the skit, and I was like, you know what? That goddamn MC Hammer, him, mama, and the whole nine. That nigga came up to me on MTV Cribs on the last episode they had.
No hesitation, Hammer and his crew jumped in their rides and flew over to catch him. They rolled up just as Cube was heading out, and Hammer allegedly stepped in close, telling him straight, never pull that stunt again. Cube, seeing exactly how deep Hammer's squad ran, reportedly kept it respectful. No sir, that won't happen again. MC Hammer versus Redman. And trust, Ice Cube wasn't the only one who felt Hammer's heat. In 1992, Redman dropped his debut, What? The album, and the intro track Funky Uncles had a character throwing heavy disrespect at Hammer and his family, spitting lines like, your mama ain't ish, your daddy ain't ish, ain't nobody ish.
MC Hammer was there. That nigga approached me. He was like, Red, I'm gonna tell you something, you young, but I don't allow nobody talking about my mama. You understand me? I said, yes, sir.
Hammer wasn't laughing. Word is, when Redman came through Oakland, Hammer's people chased him straight out of the city. Redman later admitted they barely made it out in one piece. We had to get the F out of there. They wasn't playing. We was almost boxed in. Fast forward to 1995. Hammer and Redman both ended up on set for the final episode of Yo MTV Raps. Hammer stepped right up to him and said, Red, I'ma tell you something. You young, but I don't allow nobody to talk about my mama. You understand me?
Without spending any money, Hammer could have told some people to f him the f up. Like that wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have, I know who Hammer was affiliated with, and he wouldn't have to pay to tell somebody to f somebody up.
Knowing Hammer's rep, Redman didn't hesitate. Yes, sir. He later explained in a 2016 interview, I got the message, I heard about Hammer, I seen his work. I'm good, my brother. I like the Bay Area. So F that, you're right. I won't talk about your mama. Even industry veterans knew not to cross him. In a 2018 interview, Too Short summed it up plain. Hammer was a big dog. Hammer had real respect in the streets, not just because of his fame, but because he came from a crew that handled business. Him, his brother Louie, and their people were no joke. When Too Short was asked about that alleged hit Hammer supposedly put on MC Serch, he said the only part he didn't buy was the $50,000 price tag, because Hammer wouldn't need to pay for something like that. His name alone carried enough weight. That rep stretched way past the music game. In a 2020 conversation with E40 for All Urban Central, Fat Joe told a story about meeting Hammer at the Las Vegas airport. Hammer greeted him with love, but also slipped in a reminder that he wasn't the one to test. You know, I get it poppin' for real. E40 wasn't shocked one bit. Well, he's from Oakland for one. He's from the town. He's highly respected and connected. All the fixtures and factors know him, and he knows them. He rocks heavy. His brother's gangster. Hammer's far from soft, and he's physically fit. He'll put hands on you. One reason Hammer's name rang so loud: his family ties to Felix Mitchell, one of Oakland's most notorious drug lords. Mitchell ran the 69 Mob, a powerhouse operation that, at its peak, was making over $1 million a month off crack and heroin. His crew controlled huge parts of Oakland, including the very neighborhood Hammer came up in. Even after the FBI took down Felix Mitchell and tore apart his empire in 1985, Hammer and his brothers had already grown up around some of Oakland's most feared and respected figures. So while his public image was polished and commercial, behind the scenes, Hammer's roots were planted deep in the streets. But those street ties didn't mean life was easy. Born Stanley Kirk Burrell on March 30th, 1962 in Oakland, California, Hammer was the youngest of 8 kids in a family just trying to survive. His dad was a professional poker player and casino manager, and his mom worked as a secretary. Both grinding hard, but money was always tight. When his parents split, young Stanley and his siblings stayed with their mom in a cramped 3-bedroom apartment in East Oakland's housing projects. He shared a room with 5 siblings, and every day was a struggle. To escape the pressure of his surroundings, Stanley would post up in Oakland parking lots with his friends, dancing to beatbox rhythms just to keep their spirits up. They even hustled baseballs for $2 a piece to make a little money. He was heavy into writing poetry and spent hours trying to perfect James Brown's iconic moves, all while dreaming of breaking free from the projects and building something bigger than the life he was born into. At just 11 years old, a random moment flipped Hammer's whole life. He was in the Oakland Coliseum parking lot, busting out the splits, when Charlie Finley, owner of the Oakland A's, spotted him. Impressed by the kid's energy and fearless vibe, Finley brought him on as a clubhouse assistant and bat boy. Truth is, the official bat boy was Hammer's brother, Louie Burrell Jr., but Stanley worked right alongside him, answering phones, running errands, and even giving Finley live play-by-play commentary during games. It was in those years with the A's that Stanley picked up the nickname Hammer after players said he looked like baseball legend Hammerin' Hank Aaron. The name stuck for life. Traveling with the team also gave him his first real taste of performing. He started hosting at clubs they'd hit on the road, earning the title Master of Ceremonies, or MC. After graduating from McClymonds High School in 1980, Hammer took communication classes and chased his dream of playing pro baseball. But that dream came crashing down when he failed to make the cut at a San Francisco Giants tryout. Crushed, he faced a hard choice. Growing up in East Oakland, he'd watched plenty of friends hit the streets to sell drugs for quick money. For a second, he thought about it, but deep down, he knew he was meant for more. That's when he enlisted in the U.S. Navy, serving 3 years as a petty officer and aviation storekeeper. The Navy drilled discipline and structure into Hammer, traits he carried with him for the rest of his life. After his honorable discharge, his passion for music and his faith came roaring back. He even formed a Christian rap group called the Holy Ghost Boys with singer John Gibson and gospel legend Tremaine Hawkins. They rocked stages like the Beverly Theater in Beverly Hills, but the group never caught major traction and eventually split. Still hungry to make it, Hammer went solo in 1986 and took a huge leap of faith. He borrowed $20,000 from two Oakland A's players, Dwayne Murphy and Mike Davis, to launch his own label, Busted Records. With that cash, he built a squad: DJ Keent, Kenny K. Wilson, lone mixer Kevin Wilson, rap duo 2 Big MC, and a fierce trio of dancers, Sweet LD, Terrible T, and Little P, who became known as Oakland's 357. Hammer treated the game like a mission. Grueling rehearsals, military-level precision, the discipline he learned in the Navy became the backbone of his grind. He later said, "We have to keep our organization disciplined because we have goals, and in order to achieve those goals, we have to be disciplined." That same year, he recorded his first single, Ring 'Em, and his debut album, Feel My Power, with help from Felton Pilot, producer and musician from the funk band Con Funk Shun. Hammer and his wife Stephanie went all in, hustling copies to local DJs and even selling singles straight out of their car trunk. All that grinding finally paid off. Ring 'Em lit up Bay Area dance clubs, and Feel My Power moved an impressive 60,000 copies straight out the gate. The buzz was too loud for major labels to ignore, and in 1988, Hammer locked in a massive $10 million deal with Capitol Records, pocketing a $1.75 million advance. He poured $750,000 right back into Busted Records and started plotting his next big move. That same year, he reissued Feel My Power with extra tracks, pushing sales past 2 million. Then came Let's Get It Started in September 1988, loaded with hits like Pump It Up and Turn This Mother Out. The album blew up, locking in Hammer's rise to the top. But 1990 was the year that changed everything. Hammer dropped the record that defined his career, Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em, featuring the unstoppable anthem You Can't Touch This. The album sold a mind-blowing 22 million copies, making him a household name worldwide. And here's the thing, despite his street roots and heavy rep, Hammer never glorified that life in his music. He chose to be a role model, pushing kids to stay out of trouble and believe they could make it big too. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe, share, drop a comment, and like this video. We've got more stories coming that you do not want to miss.